Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
So you are by now you are very much familiar with research. Can anybody just tell me what is research? Pranav Lokhande, Harish, Saurabh. I just want to know whether you have understood or not.
Can I, sir?
Please,
Research
please go ahead.
is a systematic. Research is nothing but, sir, research is a systematic process to efforts for gain new knowledge.
Good,
That's it, sir. That's it.
good, good, good,
And
good, good.
and and business research nothing but, sir. It is a systematic process where the uh, systematic process and to objective that gathering records and analyzing data for making business profits in any kind of organization.
Very nice, very
That's
nice.
it. Thank you, sir.
Is the PPT visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So in unit number 1, that is foundations of research, we started with understanding what is research, the definitions, different objectives of doing research, different characteristics, scientific method we have seen, its characteristics also we have discussed. And now today we are going to discuss the different types of research. What are the different types of research that we'll be discussing in today's session? We will also discuss the research process, how to conduct a research, the typical research process that we'll discuss. Also, we'll discuss the applications of research in business. So, types of research, you will see that there are different types of research based on different aspects, depending upon different aspects. There are different types of research. You can see that there is a research based on the purpose. There are different types of research based on the process, and there are types of research based on outcome. So we'll go one by one to see what are these types of research based on purpose, process, and outcome. The first category of research is the types of research which are based on the purpose of the research. So based on the purpose of the research can be of 4 types. First is descriptive research, analytical research, exploratory research, and predictive research. So these are 4 types based on purpose. We will discuss these types one by one in detail. The first type of research under the category of purpose is descriptive research. Descriptive research. By the name you can understand, descriptive means description, isn't it? Description. So descriptive, that means the research which is based on the description. Description of what? Description of different facts. So this research, what it does is, it describes the facts. It includes fact-finding inquiries like what, why, when, who, and how. So descriptive research will describe the facts based on these questions like what, when, why, how. So this describing of facts can be called as a descriptive research. The aim of this descriptive research is to describe the characteristic of phenomena at present. So in a present situation, describing the characteristics or nature of a particular phenomena is the aim of any descriptive research. In descriptive research, you will see that there is no control over variables. Only you will have to report what is happening or what has happened. So here, whatever variables are there, whatever what we can say factors are there in the particular event or any particular phenomenon, we are not controlling or we are not altering anything. What we are going to do as a researcher is only have to report what is happening, what has happened. Just description of the phenomenon is called descriptive research. In descriptive research, further you will see that the frequencies, averages, and other statistical calculations are used for its analysis. For analyzing the data which is being collected by describing the facts, we use different statistical techniques like frequencies, as you may be knowing how to calculate frequencies, then averages. That type of statistical calculations can be done on these types of data. In descriptive research, you will see that the methods which are being used, the methods are used include survey method of different kinds, including comparative and correlational method. So there may be different survey methods. Some methods may be using comparative as well as correlational methods. So we'll see that in further sessions in detail. But by now we have to understand that this descriptive research uses different types of methods, survey methods for collecting the data. A simple example of descriptive research you can see is periodical table. Have you seen periodic table in chemistry?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So that periodical
sir.
table,
Yes, sir.
preparing that type of periodical table can be an example of descriptive research, because what it does is it describes the facts. It describes the different elements and place it on the periodical table. So that can be one example of descriptive research. Is descriptive research understood to you?
Yes, sir.
Huh.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we'll go ahead. Under the category of research which is based on purpose, the second type of research is analytical. So by the name it can suggest that it is based on analysis. Analysis means study, detailed study of a phenomena or any event, and involves the secondary data. So in analytical research, you will see that the secondary data is being used for studying a particular event or particular phenomena which is occurring. The aim of your analytical research is to understand the phenomena by discovering and measuring causal relations among them. Causal relations means the relations which can give you the reasons why it is happening. Cause and effect, relationships among the different variables or among the different phenomena that can be described through or that can be studied through analytical research. Few of these terms you may not understand at this level, but we can discuss it later. But for now you can understand that this analytical research is used to discover and measure the different cause and effect relationships among the different variables or among the different factors. Just give me a second. हॅलो हां मॅडम लेक्चरमध्ये थोडा वेळ करू ओके ओके. So the main aim of analytical research is to measure causal relationships. Causal relationships means cause and effect. So there may be some cause and there may be some effect. So for example, you can take the sales. You can see that if the workers, if the employees or salespeople, they work better or they perform well, there can be a positive effect on the sales. So that is a cause and effect. That type of cause and effect relationships can be studied through analytical research. Example can be, how can the absentee rate among the employees can be reduced? So absenteeism in employees can be studied through collecting the past data or the secondary data, and on the basis of that we can establish cause and effect relationships between why the employees are remaining absent, and then we can come to know the reasons why the employees can remain absent. So this type of analytical research can be used to study the different phenomenon or events which are happening in the organization by studying the causal relationships. That means cause and effect relationships. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Acha, okay.
Yes, sir.
So the third type.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So the third type in the category of research being based on purpose is exploratory research. Exploratory research. So with the name of this kind of research, you can understand it is related to exploring. So what we do is we try to explore what when this kind of research is helpful is when there is no earlier studies which we can refer. So there may be certain phenomenon which is something new, and we do not have any earlier study or any earlier references which we can refer for its study. So then exploratory research can be done. So exploratory research is to explore or go into the details of a particular problem or particular event or phenomena. So the focus of this exploratory research, as the name suggests, is to gain the insights, is to go into the details, understanding the particular phenomenon or particular event well. So gaining the insights and getting familiar for later investigation to be undertaken when problems are in preliminary stage of investigation. So when any problem is at preliminary stage of investigation and we do not know any more things about that particular problem, and even the any reference is also not there for its study, if no secondary data or no past data is available. So what we can do is we try to explore through different ways. Like there is a useful tool which can be helpful at this stage is unstructured interview. Unstructured interview means there is no structure, there is no unplanned, there is no planned structure for this particular kind of interviews. So unstructured interviews can be one of the tools for exploring the particular problem or exploring the particular concept. So unstructured interview of those who are directly or indirectly related to that particular problem or particular phenomenon, those are interviewed unplannedly without any questionnaire or without any planned questions. We just try to explore the information from those who are directly or indirectly involved with that particular phenomenon, and through this discussion or the interview we get information which can be used for further investigation or further research can be done on that particular information. So this gathered information, the exploratory research which gathers preliminary information, that will be of help to define a problem and suggest a hypothesis. So mainly when we are at a preliminary stage of any research, we can make use of exploratory research to understand the problem better, to define a problem better, and to formulate the hypothesis, to make assumptions and to formulate hypothesis based on those assumptions. In exploratory research, you will see that exploratory research cannot help you to conclude. Conclusions cannot be drawn on the basis of exploratory research. Even though it provides direction for the future research and techniques, exploratory research cannot give you conclusions. You cannot conclude anything on the basis of exploratory research. The use of exploratory research is only to explore or to go to the details of a particular phenomena, event, or problem, and to understand that particular problem or phenomenon more better way. That is the only use of exploratory research. It cannot conclude anything. It cannot be useful for make conclusions. It is only useful for providing direction for the further research. So as you go into the details of the problem, you formulate the problem problem statement, problem identification is done well, then it provides direction to the future research. Once the problem is correctly identified, the research can be of proper use, and therefore this exploratory research can help you to give the direction for further research and to decide on which techniques to be used for further research. So that is the use of exploratory research. Exploratory research means it is used to explore. It is used to understand the phenomenon or problem better. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Then we'll go ahead. We have predictive research under the category of research based on purpose. We have fourth type, that is predictive research. Predictive research, as the name suggests, it is of help to predict. It will be useful for predicting. So this predictive research determines the frequency with which something occurs or its association with the something else. So there are some events or phenomena which occur on regular time intervals. So predictive research helps you to determine the frequency of its occurrence and to relate it with something. Like, for example, sales, or you see the demand for particular products. The demand for particular products will be on particular time intervals or on particular occasions. So demand patterns can be understood and can be associated with the sales. That can be a research. That can be of use to predict the future sales. In predictive research, we can use different statistical tools of higher level like regression, linear regression, and logistic regression. So all these type of statistical techniques, sophisticated statistical techniques or tools can be used for predictive research. This kind of predictive research can be used or can be conducted in different areas like in a business or marketing, clinical settings, or in government agencies. So these areas, predictive research can be of use for predicting something based on the frequencies of particular events or phenomenon occurring at regular intervals. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we discussed the types of research on the basis of the category purpose, based on the purpose. Now we have to understand the different types of research based on process. The process of research, based on that, what types of research can be there? There can be two types of research based on the process of the research, how the research is being conducted or done. So on the basis of the process, there can be of two types, like qualitative research and another is quantitative research. So by these names also you can understand qualitative research means related to something about qualities, quality, and quantitative research is related to something about quantity. So now we will see that in details. The first type, which is based on process, is qualitative research. So as the name suggests, qualitative research is based on understanding the different qualities. It is based on qualitative type of phenomenon that involves quality or any kind. So we understand or we study the phenomenons on qualitative basis. We study it on the basis of different qualities. So it is of qualitative research. This type of qualitative research is important in behavioral sciences, where we are understanding the behavior of people in business. We can use the qualitative type of research. This research can help you to understand the different underlying motives of human behavior through detailed description. So in qualitative research, you will see that we can understand the different motives or human behaviors through detailed description. So the aspects like attitude, behavior, those type of qualitative aspects can be studied through qualitative research. The data for this type of qualitative research can be in terms of words, pictures, or objects. In qualitative research, you can see an example of qualitative research may be, for example, if you want to understand the what customer feels about a particular product, you may show him some pictures or show him some diagrams, and you ask him to describe that diagram. So that can help us to understand the underlying motives when we are not asking any structured questions to the particular person or particular respondent. We are just showing him picture and we are asking him to describe so as to understand his feelings or his emotions or his perception towards particular product or particular kind of product. Then this type of research can help us. If we directly ask him the feedback about that particular product or that type of category of product, he may not give you the all the correct information, or he may not disclose his emotions in front of you as a researcher. So indirect method, this qualitative research is some type of indirect method wherein you can make use of some indirect methods which can help you to bring out the underlying motives, underlying emotions, underlying behaviors of the human being that can be studied through this type of qualitative research. Understanding?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Then there is another method under the category of research on the basis of process. There is quantitative research. So the quantitative research suggests that it is based on quantity. So whatever research we are doing under quantitative research, all those are measurable in terms of quantity. So it is based on measurement of quantity or amount. Anything which can be measured, like sales can be measured in terms of rupees, or your weight can be measured in kilograms. Anything which can be measured in terms of quantity or amount, here you can use quantitative research. The quantitative research make use of different tools for the collection of data, like there is a questionnaire or some equipments which can collect the data. The data which is being collected through quantitative research can be numbers or statistics, and these numbers or statistics are more efficient and they are able to be tested. So we can quantify those events or those phenomena in terms of quantities or amount, and that can be tested by using some statistical techniques. So that is quantitative research. Going ahead, there are different types of research based on the outcomes of the research. The third category of research, that is the types of research based on outcome of the research, that we will discuss now. On the basis of outcome of the research, the research can be of two types. First is your applied research, applied or action research, and second is fundamental or basic, or it can also be called as a pure research. So two types are there, applied research and fundamental research. First type of research under this category is applied research. Applied research means we can apply, so application. So as the name suggests, it is based on application of concepts to solve a practical problem. That is the meaning of applied research. So this kind of applied research is used to answer specific question or to solve a specific problem. So it is practical application of concepts to solve a real life problem. This type of research can also be called as action research. The main aim of this kind of applied research is to find solution for immediate problem facing in a society or an organization through systematic inquiry involving practical application of the science. So with the help of different statistical techniques or different statistical methods, the applied research identify the problem and try to solve the problem by application of concept to solve that particular problem. This applied research is designed to solve problem of modern world than acquire knowledge. The main purpose of applied research is to solve a problem, and it is not only to acquire the knowledge. This kind of research is not done for acquiring the knowledge, but to solve the real life problems. Getting it? Understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, so we'll go ahead. The another type in this type of research types based on outcomes is fundamental research. This fundamental research can also be called as a basic research or pure research. So this type of research is concerned with generalization and formulation of theory. To broaden the horizons of knowledge, this type of fundamental or basic or pure research can be used. You can see the example of the research being done in geography. You may watch the Discovery Channel, or the research in literature, the research in different type of subjects like English. So those type of research can be only for broadening the horizons of your theory or your knowledge. So this kind of research can be called as fundamental research. The aim of fundamental research is intellectual pleasure on learning, and it has no commercial value attached to the discoveries that result from basic research. So the main aim of fundamental research is only to gain knowledge for learning purpose and to broaden the horizons of the theories and knowledge, but it do not have any commercial value. It is not directed towards solving any problem. This type of fundamental research collection and analysis of data to develop and enhance theory and have an understanding of theoretical relationship between different variables. So to understand the relationship between different variables or factors, this kind of fundamental research collect and analyze the different data from different sources, and it is used to develop or enhance the theory. So fundamental, basic or pure research is used for increasing the horizons of theory or enhancing the knowledge. Getting it? So under the different types of research, we discussed that there are three main types of research based on the different aspects, like the research types based on purpose, on the basis of process, and on the basis of outcomes. I hope you have understood. If you have any queries, you ask me. Do you have any queries on this topic, types of research which we have discussed just now?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead to understand the typical research process, the steps in a typical research process. Is this diagram visible to you all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a typical research process which can be used to conduct any type of research. There are various steps which are being put in a logical sequence. You can see that there are different steps, and these steps are being put in a logical sequence. The first step in a research process is define a research problem. First step is to define the research problem. Identify and understand the problem. That is the first step. Once this problem is well identified, problem is clear, then we can go further. The next step, you can see that we review the concepts and theories. So we go back to the different theories, concept. We may use different books, different journals, different magazines, different sources on websites or internet that we can use to review the different theories. Then review previous research findings. So if anybody has done research in the same area, that you can review. So by doing this, we are more clear about the problem and we can understand the different factors or different variables which can come under this particular research problem. This second step, that is review of different concept theories and review of previous research findings, that can be called as a literature review or secondary research. This secondary research can help you to understand the problem better and to have different variables or assumptions based on that so as to solve that particular problem in hand. So once you are thorough with this second step, that is secondary research, you are able to now formulate the hypothesis. So you can formulate hypothesis based on that, based on which you can carry out further research. So you formulate hypothesis or assumptions based on the secondary research which we do. Once we formulate the hypothesis, we are more clear about which of the methods to be used, how much sample to be taken, how that research can be carried out further. That is very clear about when we have a proper hypothesis. Once we have formulated any hypothesis, then we go ahead with the another step, that is formulation of research design. So the research design will tell you the framework under which you can conduct the particular research. Based on the nature of the problem, there can be different types of research frameworks which we can use. That is called as the research design. There are different types of research designs which we will study in further sessions. But by now you have to understand that this formulation of hypothesis can help you to formulate a proper research design or framework for your research. So once we have a proper research design, we collect the primary as well as secondary data for supporting or to solve the problem. Then this actual research will start by collecting the primary as well as secondary data. Do you understand what is primary, secondary? Anybody? Anybody? Akanksha, Saurabh, Shruti, Mohit. Are you aware about primary or secondary data? What it is?
Yes, sir.
You please tell me. I'm just
Sir,
asking you to understand whether you know it or not, so that if you do not know, I will explain. Pallavi, you go. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. So primary data is data which we are collecting through the research and with the help of survey and etc. And secondary data is which we take from internet, research papers, books, journals, etc.
Right. What Pallavi said is correct. So that means primary data is the data which we have to collect, which we'll have to collect it from the respondents. That is the first hand data. First hand data, it can be also called as a first hand data. It is fresh data which we'll have to we'll have to collect through the respondents. We may use different methods like survey methods. So that is a primary data. So primary data which is not available readily, it has to be collected from freshly from the respondents. So that is a primary data, and secondary data is the data which is already available. Somebody has done research earlier, or some information which is available in the magazines, internet. All those information which is already available is called as secondary data. So in this step, what we do is we collect the primary as well as secondary data which is required for solving the problem. So once this primary and secondary data is gathered, we go to the next step, that is analysis of the data. We analyze the data. We first of all tabulate the collected data. We make the data in a particular organized format which can be then analyzed. So with the help of different statistical techniques, in this step we can use analyze the gathered data, may it be a primary or secondary data. And after analyzing this data or the information, what we get is the different findings. Different findings we get by analyzing this primary or secondary data. These findings need to be then interpreted. That need to be interpreted. The meaning of that findings need to be communicated and prepare a report to be prepared. So after collecting the data and analyzing it to solve the problem, what we get is some findings, some research findings we will get, and those findings need to be understood, that need to be communicated, interpreted, and on the basis of that a report can be prepared, which then can be submitted to the people who are making decisions on the basis of that data. Is the research process clear to you all? All the steps are clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you can
Sir,
Yes, sir.
okay, you feel free to ask me anything which you have not understood. You can interrupt me anywhere. So okay, thank you. Once you have understood the typical research process, we'll see business research process. Business research process is similar but having few additional details which also we will go through. So this is a particular business research process which you can see. Is the diagram visible to you all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this diagram you can see the step number 1 as the typical research process. You will see that step number 1 is problem or opportunity identification. So research can be conducted to solve a problem, also to identify any opportunity. So there can be a problem as well as opportunity also. So the step number 1 is to identify a particular problem or opportunity. So once a problem or opportunity is correctly identified, then step number 2, decision maker and business researcher meet together and discuss the problem and opportunity dimensions. So once the problem is being identified, problem or any opportunity, then the decision maker may be management of the particular business and researcher, they come together and discuss the problem and opportunity dimensions. So the decision maker or the management of a particular business, they will communicate the need of the research to the researcher. Why, what type of research they want to carry out, what they want to know through a particular research, and the details of the information what they want. The discussion will be held between this decision maker and researcher to understand this problem clearly and what are the different aspects of that problem for which the management wants to have particular information. So all that is being done in step number 2. After the step number 2, the researcher may go by a pilot study. Pilot study means a study on a small scale, or some test study, or exploratory research. Exploratory research means he will go on discussing the problem with the people who are directly or indirectly related with that particular problem. So that exploratory research will be done. He will explore the secondary data, secondary sources of the information. He will understand the background of the problem or the opportunity. So once the discussion is held between management and the researcher will go with understanding the problem clearly through a test study, a small scale pilot study, or exploratory research, secondary data exploration, or background of the problem or opportunity. So he will try to understand the problem in a better way. He will try to understand the problem with all the dimensions and all the different aspects which are directly or indirectly related with that particular problem. And once it is clear, in the third step, defining the management problem and subsequently the research problem. So whatever management problem management is communicating, that problem need to be converted into research problem. How to convert management problem into research problem, that we are going to discuss in later session. But at the step 3, what we do is we define the management problem. First of all, the correct definition of or correct identification of the management problem is there, and once it is done, once that management problem is understood clearly, that management problem is converted into a research problem. So this research problem can help you to conduct further research. Is it clear this till this step 3?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then we go to step number 4, that is formal research proposal and introducing the dimensions to the problem. So what the researcher does in step number 4 is he will prepare a formal research proposal. A research proposal will have different contents that also we are going to discuss in later session. So in research proposal, introducing to the dimensions to the problem, theoretical model construction, framing research questions, and developing hypotheses. So in research proposal, this researcher can give the details related to the different dimensions of the particular problem or opportunity. The theoretical model he may construct, he may frame different research questions, and he develops some hypothesis. Based on that, he can conduct a research. So that he may include in formal research proposal, which includes the different dimensions to the problem, different research methods he may use, the time frames, and the cost. So all that may be included in a research proposal, and that he may discuss it with the management. And once that is agreed to both the parties, then he may go ahead to the step number 5. The step number 5 is approaches to the research. So once all the 4 steps are approved, he go to step number 5, that he may actually start with the research. So before actually starting the research, he will prepare a framework, or he will prepare an approach how to go about that particular research and to solve that particular problem. So he will formulate a particular research design or an approach to solve that particular problem. So this research design or that approach to the research may include the different types of research to be used, how to measure the data and the different scaling techniques, development of questionnaires, sample size determination, how much sample to be taken, how much sample will be sufficient to gather the data, different sampling techniques, which methods can be used for collecting the sample. So that all he will decide under this approach, formulation of approach or research design. And then he will have a data analysis plan. So once he decides the different data collection methods, or preparing a questionnaire, or determining the adequate sample, or the method for collecting the sample, so all once it is finalized, he will also formulate, or he will plan about how to go about the data analysis, which statistical techniques or tools can be used for analyzing the data. That also will be thought of. So then this is all about under the step number 5, approaches to the research. Clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So then once an approach is being formulated, approach or research design is in place, then the actual research will start. Then in step number 5, you will see that field work and data collection. So the actual data will be collected through survey method or any other methods. The data collection will be performed, or data collection will be done. There may be different secondary data sources, survey, observation, experiments, through which the data can be collected in step number 6. Then the next step is data preparation and data entry. So before you analyze the data, you need to prepare the data. You need to convert the data into usable form, or the form of particular form which can be analyzed. So you will have to properly organize the data by making use of different tables. So data is prepared, and then data is entered into that tabular form. So that is data preparation and data entry, which is important before analyzing the data. Then is step number 8, that is performing the data analysis. So once the data is ready, then you can perform analysis on that particular data. So step number 8 is performing data analysis. So there are different tools of analysis like univariate statistical analysis, bivariate statistical analysis, multivariate statistical analysis. All these types of analysis we will be discussing in later sessions. But for now, we have to understand that these are the different statistical techniques which can be used for performing a data analysis. So once data analysis is done, you go to step number 9, that is interpretation of results and presentation of findings. So then you interpret the results, whatever findings you have, the findings the research has come out, you have to interpret, you have to communicate, or you have to write the meanings of that findings. So whatever numbers you get out of the analysis, you need to interpret the meaning of those numbers. So understanding or interpretation of the results and presentation of findings is a important step. And once it is done, that information can be put into a proper format and can be presented to the management for taking decisions and implementation. So these are the different steps which can be generally used in business research. Is this business research process clear to you all? Any query on this?
No, sir.
You can feel free to ask me any query on this, whatever we have discussed today. Any query on this?
No, sir.
Acha. So before we close,